Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, major developments from the Middle East.
Israel and Hamas have agreed to a ceasefire deal, bringing the war to a temporary halt. This will only last for 4 days. As part of the ceasefire, Hamas will free at least 50 hostages out of about 240 being held in the Gaza Strip. Women and children will be given a priority. The deal is brokered by the U.S. and Qatar Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who says that the war will continue after the ceasefire. More than 11,000 Palestinians have been killed in the conflict. And also tonight, we are following a developing story here at home which broke during our Fox 2 News at 5 o'clock.
A dangerous suspect is shot by police in a busy Troy area. Fox News' Jessica Dupnack has been following the story since it broke during the evening commute. And Jessica, what else have you learned at this point? Certainly it was a mess this evening.
Absolutely. Earlier out here, it was busy. If you know this area, we're talking about Big Beaver at Rochester Road. During that evening commute, so you can imagine just sitting in traffic, watching police go after the suspect, try to box him in. One of the officers, actually one of the detectives that was nearby and responded, ending up getting out of his car, trying to make an arrest, and it ended with shots fired.
And my heart was pounding very fast. It was very terrifying.
This mom of two, Ashley, told us by phone her toddlers were in the back seat, stopped at a light in Troy, Big Beaver, and Rochester Roads Tuesday afternoon.
All of a sudden, I heard what I thought at first were fireworks, and then I realized quickly that they were actually gunshots.
She heard 5 gunshots fired from a Troy police detective at the driver of a stolen SUV as that driver allegedly attempted to drive at him. Troy police say the suspect was hit at least one time.
When I quickly looked, and I did see a man standing outside of a vehicle with a gun pointed into another vehicle. So I assume that's, where it was all coming from.
Ashley says she knew what she had to do, thinking of her and her kids, that maybe they were in the middle of a road rage situation at the time.
A bunch of cars started beeping, so I just knew I had to get out of there as fast as I could, and that's exactly what I did.
We're told it started with a bolo for that blue SUV stolen out of Southfield. A license plate reader in Troy picked up its plate, and a Troy police officer tried to pull them over near this intersection, but they didn't stop. That's when Troy Police Captain Josh Jones says other nearby officers in unmarked cars tried to intervene and box the SUV in, a maneuver to get them to stop.
One of our officers was on foot trying to effect an arrest, and the vehicle sounded like it was moving at him.
The detective firing 5 shots through the SUV's windshield, hitting the driver. He's stable in the hospital, and his passenger was hurt during the collision. He was treated at the scene, but is expected to be okay.
The type of things happens. Obviously, it's dangerous, and we take that certainly into account.
Captain Jones says Troy PD, like departments across the country, are dealing with a major spike in criminals fleeing from police, especially in stolen vehicles. Avoiding chases is what it appears the officers were trying to do while taking the suspect into custody.
We try to box in vehicles when they're at traffic lights instead of initiating in a high-speed pursuit, which can be very dangerous.
Just checked in on that driver that was shot, who is the suspect, still stable at an area hospital. Now, the detective that fired shots, per protocol, he will be put on light duty as they investigate, and Troy Police enlisting the help of Oakland County Sheriff's Office to conduct an independent investigation of what went on earlier today. For now, reporting live in Troy, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Well, Jessica, when police initially pulled over that suspect, the driver, did they know that the vehicle was stolen? And at this point, do they believe that the officers followed protocol? I know there was an investigation still going on.
It was one of the... Right. It was one of those license plate readers, the flock cameras that picked up the license plate and alerted officers in the area that the vehicle was stolen. That is why they say they initially tried to pursue that car. Now, at this point, it does sound like protocol was followed, especially when the captain there said that it looked like the vehicle, the suspect's vehicle, was trying to lurch at the detective. But again, all still under investigation.
We heard from police right there. They tried not to take it to the point where it would injure other people, so certainly it was top of mind for them as well. Jessica, thanks for that report.
I want you to check out this video of another pursuit today. A carjacking suspect in a busted Kia Soul leads officers on a high-speed chase through Macomb and Wayne counties before eventually being detained in Detroit. St. Clair Shores police tell us that the suspect carjacked a woman at Kroger on Harper last Thursday and then spotted that stolen Kia while on patrol today. The suspect took off when police attempted a traffic stop. No word yet on any charges.
New developments in a 2.5-year-old cold case.
Although she has never been found, an arrest has been made in the murder of Dee Warner in Lenawee County. Fox 2's Dave Spencer has the details of this case.
Greg Hardy has been waiting for this day for a long time.
A big step, important step, but not the final step.
The day someone would be held accountable for the disappearance of his sister, Dee Warner, a mother and grandmother who went missing in April of 2021, presumed to have been killed, but her body was never found. On Tuesday, the county prosecutor confirms Dee's husband, Dale Warner, is under arrest and will be charged with open murder and tampering with evidence. Greg says he's had reason to suspect her husband, Dale, allegations of past abuse, but says the former prosecutor wouldn't move the case forward.
Greg, you know, I know what you're trying to get done here, but if there's no body, then I won't charge the guy.
So Greg found someone who would, an investigative attorney from Missouri named Billy Little.
Doing this work gives my life meaning.
Billy has experience with murder cases where the victim's body is still missing. In his experience, it's possible to get a murder conviction based on witnesses.
It's a storytelling, so there's 1,000 pieces of information. And by the time the defense is done attacking 1,000 pieces, they've lost all credibility.
And they found support wherever they looked. Signs just like this that say justice for Dee can be found throughout Lenawee County, put out sometimes by complete strangers as an offering of support for the family, but oftentimes reaching out to that family and teaching them a thing or two about the person Dee was.
Dee has helped way more people in little things in life than I was aware of. And to her credit, that's a pretty big badge of honor.
The suspect in this case was arrested by state police on Tuesday and is expected in court on Wednesday. In Lenawee County, Dave Spencer on The Edge.
All right, thanks to a tip about a stolen car, police bust a human trafficking operation.
Yes, and last week, state troopers responded to a report of a stolen vehicle in Royal Oak Township. After questioning the driver, troopers found evidence of human trafficking. Several jurisdictions worked together to raid 3 Detroit homes. In the end, 4 men were arrested. Michigan State Police say as a result, 6 victims were rescued and some needing urgent medical attention. They were forced to live in horrendous conditions.
Just blow up mattresses, stuff like that. Just places, you know, leftover food, containers on the sink, things like that. Places that, you know, you just don't want to live at all, let alone be subjected to being treated like that by another human being.
Just awful. Seized in the raid, though, cocaine, cell phones, and ammunition, including a powerful 105-millimeter projectile.
All right, so turning to the weather now. This was not the greatest day. It was a lot of rain. It's never a good sign when everyone is using their headlights in the middle of the afternoon.
But things are looking up for Thanksgiving, and Rich is here to give us the good news.
Taryn and Brandon, let's get the wet weather out of the way today, because tomorrow, with a big travel day, we're going to need some dry weather, and we have it. Notice our big storm now pushing through the mid-Atlantic. Heavy rains around Philly and Washington, Baltimore as well. We have just a few lingering showers here on the backside, but the clouds are going to hang tough for the rest of tonight and for most of your Wednesday. Just a couple of light showers left, and then it's all over with. How about live pictures from New York City, the Big Apple? That's wet weather at 47 degrees. For us today, 50 degrees with all the clouds, the breeze. 50 is 50 at the end of November. There are your averages, and the record's 67 and 3. Temperatures are cooling off, especially in the western suburbs, still close to 50 along I-94 from Detroit to Mount Clemens, Port Huron. How about that? 38 degrees in Lansing. The front has eased through the area. We can see with the winds now out of the west and northwest. It is going to turn cooler overnight tonight, but as low pressure pulls away from the area, takes the rain with it. We have dry weather for tomorrow. and for Thanksgiving into Friday as well. You'll see it all in the 7-day. For the rest of tonight, any lingering showers will be ending. We're down to 39. Tomorrow's breezy but dry. A few peaks of sun late in the day, 45. And how about that for a Thanksgiving forecast? 47 degrees with breaks of sunshine. Cooler for the weekend ahead, including the big game. We'll check it starting at 4 a.m.
We're done being shut up. We're done being silenced. Enough is enough, and we are fighting back and asking for justice and healing for the students of Oxford.
This is a David versus Goliath battle that has been 2 years in the making. Students in Oxford take a stand against the district as we approach the 2-year anniversary of the Oxford school shooting. Today, a group of students walked out of the high school demanding their voices be heard. They say they need healing and claim they have not had the proper trauma recovery services that were required.
It's disgusting to see these people responsible for the death of my friends bleeding out in our hallways, that we have to stand in this community and know that they're walking freely, working with troubled children in the district, and still in charge.
Well, students also want a proper memorial for the 4 students killed in the shooting. We reached out to the Oxford Schools District regarding this demonstration. They had no comment. Governor Gretchen Whitmer signs a bill that advocates say will save lives.
It temporarily bans anyone convicted of domestic violence from having a gun.
Had I known without a shadow of a doubt that my ex-husband's guns would be removed, I would have been able to leave sooner.
The new law blocks anyone convicted of a domestic violence-related misdemeanor from accessing guns and ammo. It is the 4th gun violence prevention measure signed by Governor Whitmer.
We have the data. We know that having access to weapons in an intimate partner situation where there's domestic violence, a woman is 5 times more likely to die.
The legislation had some bipartisan support, though only a handful of Republicans supported it.